So now we come to Denis Villeneuve. A director that I sometimes like. I really liked Arrival.
I still haven't seen that since we've talked about it.
I saw Prisoners. Prisoners was really, really good. I never saw Sicario. People really like Sicario.
That was him?
Yeah. And then I saw that boring Blade Runner movie he made. And I thought that movie was okay. Like a little bit. I'm like, it was whatever. But then I thought about it. I'm like, I can't really remember a lot from that movie. It wasn't that good. I think I was happy that I wasn't miserable watching it, but now I'm angry because I just forgot all of it.
Well, I think that's how I feel about the new Dune.
No, but this I actually liked.
It's fine. I mean, it's good, but like it's also forgettable in my head.
It's
maybe because you're binging all three of them.
No, but like. Well,
you watched this when it came out, right? I just saw this.
Yeah, I'll get to my final. Well, I'll get to that in my final thought. But like, it's just. I mean, it's what you expect. It's Dune. It's all the big beats from these past two incarnations with a little. You're going to explain.
Yes, I will say so. One thing that this does what the Sci-Fi Channel did. We're breaking the story up into parts,
which
great. Wasn't the original plan.
It wasn't.
Was it?
No. Were they going to? It's supposed to be one movie.
How the fuck were you going to do this in one movie?
Wasn't it going to be like super long? Almost like 3.5 hours. Or
honestly,
something? I mean,
it was already like 2.5. Yeah.
I mean, it's right. It's weird how like some movies can be pared down, like Lord of the Rings, and you think it's hard, but yeah, this one, it's like if you're going to do. You would have to make a lot of changes to cut this one down, and none of the movies seem willing to make those changes.
Because
they're like, well, we want all of the characters. Like, people have considered this unfilmable for a long time. But I feel like they're on the right track with this one. Now, this one decided, let's just do book one, the first part of the first book.
Sure.
Which I think was smart.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Because now it actually gives, as someone who just read the book, went through all of these.
Read the book?
Yes.
Ah.
I really liked having the scenes like breathe and spend time with the characters, not like rushing to get to the next scene to make sure we get it all in.
Sure.
This one really benefits from that. A few things they did change. I'm sorry, Crystal. You are being erased. The Harkonnens went from being all redheads and lynches
because redheads are just evil.
To only a few redheads in the Sci-Fi Channel, and now no hair at all.
Presto, you're bald. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's another thing. Like, they have no identity. They're just bald guys.
Yeah. I will say, I mean,
they looked evil as fuck, though.
Yeah, they did.
The Baron?
Batista's intimidating. Skarsgård's intimidating.
Yeah.
You know
Very much.
Skarsgård, the way Skarsgård is playing it and the way he's talking and stuff, that's how I kind of pictured the character in the book.
Sure.
But I'd rather him be the funny Ian McNeice.
The flamboyantly fiery.
Yeah. And like everything else is
disgusting.
There's very, very minimal changes that weren't even worth bringing up, except for Liet Kynes is now a woman.
It worked.
It's okay.
No, hate it. No, my whole thing is like the book, like to be real, like the book has a lot of female characters in it. And it's just like
there is, which is crazy. They talk about the school so much, and it's such a heart, like a staple in this book is that school that they went to.
And I get it.
You don't hear about that at all. It's all about this. The women are supposed to be creating this other world by having these daughters and all those teachings and the learnings. You don't get that at all.
The Bene Gesserit, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But like, there's a lot of women in the story, and
I try
like
not to say a lot of these words because I'm totally going to unpronounce. But you guys totally get what
you're allowed to say it and then be like, "Hey, it's pronounced this," and you'd be like, "All right, well, that's what."
And then I'm going to fuck it up again and again and again and again.
But
yeah,
so
words.
In this, like there are a lot of women in the books, and I understand they got Chani in it and they got Zendaya, but then they were like, "Oh wait, she doesn't do shit in the first book. Fuck, we need a tough lady." It can't be the mom, and the mom is tough, but we need a tough lady who's part of like the good guys, because Jessica's kind of teetering on that line.
I don't know, she's pretty strong in this.
Well, her whole thing is like, where do her allegiance lie, to the Duke and her son, or to the Bene Gesserit? So we needed a really good lady, and they're like, well, we're changing Liet Kynes to a woman, and then they get killed by a worm instead of the spice explosion.
I liked that.
I think it's fine.
Like that because it was under her control.
Yeah.
She determined that. She goes, "Fuck this shit. I'm not going to have them kill me." Well, that's what she
Thumper.
Yeah.
No, Thumper. Thumper is what calls the worms. Thopters are the planes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, she was just banging on the ground. That's what she was doing. And she get the worm to come over and said, "Fuck it. They're going with me if I'm going."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that.
I will say I really like the visual style in this.
I think it looks good. Look, there's no way this wasn't going to look gorgeous.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll be the first one to tell you, it's these long sweeping shots. Everything is very beautiful. What is it, Caladan?
Caladan
is
gorgeous.
The water planet where the Atreides are from.
Yeah.
Everything is really beautiful. I love the Imperial ship that comes down. It's like an oval. I thought that was really cool.
It looks great. It's a little too earthbound for me. It's not weird enough for me. No. Only because this is stuck in my head.
I mean, it kind of looks like that, just on a bigger budget.
Sort of.
Maybe not the ships, but I mean Caladan and whatnot.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think this has such more of a serious, beautiful tone to it.
It's a totally different feel.
It's a totally different feel. Yeah. It has. You don't get the trippy feels as the other two movies have at all.
Although I do like what they do with the dreams in this.
I don't think so. I don't think the dreams were. If I'm comparing them, I do not think the dreams were trippy enough.
Well, I don't think it needs to be trippy. The whole point is, so like the dreams.
The dreams are different in this. They're not even
because he is the Kwisatz Haderach. I'm going to explain it. Because he is the Kwisatz Haderach. Or Kwisatz Haderach.
Kwisatz Haderach.
The Kwisatz Haderach. So basically him, and this is like what the navigators do and a lot of the other people who take the spice, they're able to
Triples.
They're able to like see the future basically.
Sure.
Predict the future.
They hallucinate.
But I like that this movie is the first one to be like he's not space Jesus. It's not 100% and his skills aren't 100% because I really like at the end, like he's having visions that he's going to be really good friends with this guy, Jameis. He's going to teach him how to ride the sandworm. But when he meets him, the opposite happens. So he's like, okay, I do have this ability, but I haven't focused on it yet.
It reminds me of Garnet from Steven Universe.
I don't know what that is.
No? You ever hear of like the Jedi?
Yeah. Well,
some of them have.
Again, Frank Herbert was a little suspicious. Got
a little bit of force. I can't, the dark side clouds everything,
Yeah. This one uses the most shields, and the shields look how I kind of expected them to look.
It looks good. Don't get me wrong.
Shield.
And I like that because the whole thing is the slow knife penetrates the shield.
Yeah.
Which the other movies established, but then there's not a lot of shield fighting in those movies.
No.
Here, there's a ton of shield fighting. But they show like Jason Momoa be taking guys out, but then he has to slow down to get in there.
And that's a great scene. That hallway scene.
I was just going to say that. Yeah. God,
this is the best dunk in Idaho.
Oh, big time.
They gave him shit to do. And I'm not even the biggest Jason Momoa guy, but they gave him shit to do.
As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh, no. Like, I'm a huge Jason Momoa fan. Woo! If I watch him in anything. But it really is, the fighting in this, I think is the absolute best. It's awesomely choreographed. I don't think the other ones can even compare to this for fighting wise, emotion wise, taking the serious plot of like this, all of them. It's just a different vibe that the other ones just don't have. It's not that trippy fun.
I think it
serious.
Yeah, I think it has the most accurate Paul. Because he is, he's in his 20s, but he looks like he's 15.
Yeah.
Just not even look-wise. I think the way he acts, because even with the, what's it called? The little bug, when they knew that the traitor was
the hunter seeker. Yeah.
That was probably my favorite Paul scene, because I don't think Paul would be that. In the other ones, he's like, oh, don't move. Like, was it in the... Now I'm getting confused now. The Lynch and the miniseries, where it's the one of the mates.
The shout-out mates comes in,
yeah.
And
I know in the she saves the one.
Except in Lynch, he's like, oh, I saved your life. She's like, oh my God, you saved my life. And in the miniseries, he's like, what are you, fucking stupid? You almost died.
Yeah, exactly. But in this one, it's not as, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here.
He's not as
he's not as douchey.
He's definitely not a douche or as douchey.
But he's a little bit more, not as mature about it. He's not as masterful.
I see what you're saying.
He's not as masterful with it in this.
He's still learning.
Exactly. Yeah. He's more, in all the other ones, I feel like he just automatically learned and he's good. And I know that's an aspect of him where when he puts on the suit and he knows how to do it. Sure, he might have some of those.
He was also trained a lot too, like from a kid to now.
And
he's also part Mentat, part Kwisatz, part Bene Gesserit a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. And he's still, but I like the fact that he's still working on the voice.
No,
and he doesn't have it down packed.
Remove her gag.
I really like Charlotte Rampling as the Reverend Mother. They never show her face, but this is a chick from Zardoz.
It's great. She's great.
She's really good in it.
Oh, that's what I want to say. Just real quick. We get a lot more time with Jessica and Paul before they even go to Arrakis, and I think that that to your point about him being a little pig-headed and juvenile.
Yeah.
Those scenes specifically, I think, amplify that or like put it into a little bit more perspective of where Paul's at his maturity level. Like he knows he has this big responsibility to take on, but he's still a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like usual, Thufir doesn't really do much. They gave him a tattoo on his lips instead of the red lips.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's drinking out of a straw.
And I did like the Mentat thing where his eyes go in the back of his head when he's calculating.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool. They decided not to show the navigators.
Which is fine.
Didn't need to. I do like when they show like the tube that everyone transports to. You see like on the other side of the tube, you see like where space is folded. There's like another planet. I'm like, that's really cool how they did it. They didn't feel the need to do any light speed stuff. They're like, you get the idea.
Yeah.
You've seen sci-fi.
It's very maybe this is the word I'm looking for. It's very earthbound.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
And it's very like natural and organic looking.
Yeah.
It's very I don't feel like I'm on a different planet.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
It's kind of hard to do.
Do you know what I mean,
like,
though?
it's not like Star Wars. Like the Dune in the book is like very barren.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I get it. I'm just talking about like some of the costumes and stuff.
oh yeah, I wasn't too crazy on the costumes.
Yeah.
I like the still suits, but like that weird armored suit, I didn't really like.
Yeah, but even like in House Atreides and like all of the set designs, they're pretty.
Yeah.
But they don't necessarily feel otherworldly, is my point.
No,
Yeah, I
it's more
wasn't-
natural.
I didn't really like the look of.
I want to live on Caladan. All right, in a hobbit hole on
Oh,
Caladan.
absolutely.
I didn't really like the Harkonnen stuff in it as much.
No,
They were very evil looking.
I liked
are the only
Piter.
ones.
I liked Piter in it, but
it's also very
I
like
hate Piter.
muted.
yeah.
I guess is maybe
It is
a better.
muted.
Well,
way
I
to
think it's
say
what
it.
they were
have
going
those
for.
bright
Yeah.
colors. Those
Yeah.
other two have so much bright colors.
They're very
This is-
distinct and memorable, and it's just a big black and gray kind of thing when we get to
And I
like
don't-
the Harkonnen.
I do
And maybe
like
that
the
is
other
more
ones.
accurate, but it definitely isn't as.
Oh,
exciting.
but in
Fun
the
to look at.
miniseries, there's so many nice shots of the desert and the colors.
Fade, who's not even in this movie. Fade's wearing a fucking
supposed to be in the
triangle in the
second-
miniseries.
Dude, he's got it like hanging on
He's
the
got
back
a
of him.
triangle on his
It's
back.
like the fucking Pink Floyd cover.
Yeah, I like the Beast Raban as Batista in it. I thought he's
And I
okay
think
for
he's great
the
as-
minimal.
He's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I like where they're going. I think it was smart to only do one part. So the sandworms. Everyone said they look like buttholes. And when I finally watched the movie, I was looking at it when it finally comes out in that scene where it's staring at Paul. I'm like, that doesn't look like a butthole. It looks like an eye because their teeth are like, it looks like an iris almost, how long their teeth are.
Yeah.
And then the mouth started puckering. I was like, oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, there it is. There it is. Now I
There's
see
the
it.
booty hole.
So my least favorite worms.
Lawrence, what if we had a monster in the ground with, it was a circle hole, right? And there was teeth in it? And we called it a sarlacc. What do you think? Think that would work?
You mean like the sandworms?
No.
Hey, George Lucas, you kind of put a worm in an asteroid in the last movie.
No, I didn't. I didn't put a sandworm in the sand with just its mouth poking out. Tony! Listen, I'm gonna shove that fucking bounty hunter down there.
So yes, yeah, and by the way, the music in all three is good. The music in this is really, really good. Hans
It's good.
Zimmer
It's
knocked
just-
it out with this.
It's fucking Hans Zimmer, dude. Did
Yeah.
you expect anything less?
Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2. We did commentary for it.
Oh, dude, he was asleep.
The
but he
music was
like-
not very good in that. Yeah, and I love Rebecca Ferguson. I'll watch her in anything. She's fucking gorgeous. Goddamn that one. I do like how if they never did make a sequel, they alluded to things that will happen in later movies just in
Yeah.
case. I do
didn't
love
like that.
Fucking, I'm all in on them doing space karate in the desert with their gold suits while worms are eating people in the background. I'm like, that's what I want to see. That's what we're ready for.
I mean, I'm into it.
Yeah.
It felt forced to me.
It's not.
Well, no, I mean that's something he is able to predict stuff.
Sure,
but
I
it's
get
also
it.
it's also there just in case they never make a sequel. It's like, well, that's what you would have seen.
Yeah, but he has foresight in all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he
But
sees-
remember, that's the one I really like that they show that it's not 100%. It's not accurate.
Yeah.
Sure, like,
Um,
so you don't know if that's going to
I
happen.
ate some spice. Here's a preview for the second part of this movie.
Yeah, but then and I do love the very ending. It feels like a Marvel movie where it's like, oh, that guy's riding a sandworm, and then the girl's like, this is only the beginning. It's like, all right, it feels a little Marvel-y there.
To your point, there is humor in this, and I'm like, That feels very Marvel, and I don't fucking need it.
That probably they probably wanted to put that in the trailer to look more fun. I didn't mind the little bit moments of humor.
That doesn't happen anywhere else.
Huh?
Nowhere else does that happen.
It's weird though, because like Oscar Isaacs is fine, but when they're on Caladan, you get that between like Jason Momoa and
the only one I don't really like is
Oscar Isaacs and Paul.
The only one I don't like is the smile Gurney. I am smiling. I'm like, that's a Black Dynamite joke.
Yeah.
Smile, Gurney. I am smiling.
You got that from Black Dynamite.
I just don't feel like these guys are that kind of jokey. Like
No.
I feel like they have very dry humor.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't.
They're more like knights.
I don't know. Look, one of the reasons
like medieval knights. I don't know. That sounds really weird, but
one of the reasons original Star Wars does so well is because it was a weird world where you had to learn everything. So putting in some levity and
I get it.
Some humor helped, whereas the prequels they didn't do any of that shit. It's like these are all fucking weirdos.
I get it, and I'm not saying that it's bad.
Well, at least Oscar Isaac didn't do a your mama joke.
Who knows? Did you watch the extended cut?
Oh, God,
Jesus.
no, I didn't watch the deleted scenes for this.
No.
It's going to be interesting how they fit in Fade in the next one, since he wasn't established in this.
I'm so
It's gonna
curious.
have to be a big.
They are doing more Harkonnen stuff in the next one.
I know, and they're definitely bringing in Faye.
Yeah.
Also, something that I thought was curious in this too was like because the second movie's coming, like when Leto bites the tooth and blows the poison gas out, it looks like Baron Harkonnen's dead.
Well, yeah. I think in the book he actually like he's the one who locks everyone in and runs away.
But he's in the room, and he's the closest he's ever been.
But he had the shield on, so it protected him a little bit.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
I mean, any
right
visual.
before he leans in, it's like a second. He turns the shield on.
Oh, really? In any visual representation, this is the closest he is to Leto.
Yes.
And he gets blown in the face, and he even I guess he feigns getting knocked out.
I think
he does it a couple times where he can't believe that he's even alive.
Yeah, I think it gets him a little bit, but not enough. And then I think he floated away before it got everyone else. Also, he's got like attachments to him, his suspenders. I think if I remember right, the suspenders were only to help him walk. In every single movie, he's like, he flies. I'm like, all right, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
why not?
It looks cool.
Man.
It looks cool.
It looks cool as shit.
I like his suit that he flies around in. Yeah.
Yeah.